sunny. There's Ra. I wonder if those formations up, pointing up to him are could be construed as pups, or a pup, like Anubis. I don't see the Ankh. It must be too early. Huh. Or maybe the brush is burned out. Okay, headed down the trail here. Stop and take some pictures of the hills. Sometimes I see stuff later. I'm headed that way. Let's see if I can point to it right there, over there. That's the horns of the bull. Don't see an Ankh. Huh. Too early. Here's the burned out area down here, the superstition where it's burnt. You can see it's pretty, it cleaned off the light stuff. It'll grow back. So heading that way. That's where I come from. There's Weaver's Needle up there. Miner's Needle. There's Ra. Looks different from due south or southwest. Looks like a pile of rocks. Just saw 4 deer, mule deer, headed that way. They can smell me probably. The wind's going right toward them. Pretty easy walking. Gotta squeeze through that canyon up up that way. Here's a pretty good perspective. Of course, Ra doesn't look quite as good as on the 60-degree alignment, but the horns, Apis bull horns. Get the focus here. Then over here to the set animal head. Those canyons are the ears. Those crags behind there. And then, still on the sunbark, Horus. Look at that. Big time, man. That sucker's huge too. That's big. That's tall. That's 400 foot tall too. Yeah. They're big when you get up to them. It's a big valley here, but a little bit farther east, there's Miner's Needle. You can see the eye through it now. Let's see. See the eye. Here's Ra. This looks like a pile of rocks from here, this viewpoint. That sucker's got some energy to it. It'll give you a buzz. Yeah, I think I can just go up around this hill here. Up here and that ridge line over there, that's the Apis bull. His backbone. And the Apis bull is Osiris, the embodiment of Osiris. So hopefully I can see the horns. That's what I want to go see. Farther east, here's that valley that I saw all the swirls in at that time. It's been burned up in there. It look like it burned all the way though. See, it's kind of brown, that line there. So the swirls look like they're going to be all right. Man, this is a pretty valley. The sunbark Back there is where that ridge line is the shack on the middle of the sunbark. Here's raw. It looks like a pile of rocks. That one sticking up next to it. I always thought that looked like a hand. Looks like the hand coming out of the sun rays, like this, on the 10. It's always struck me as what that is here, but I'm getting close. I'll be able to see, I think, we'll get around this. We'll be able to see the wasp scepter head set and the apis bull, I hope so, because I'm tired and I gotta walk all the way back there to get back. Here we go. Okay, I think that's as far as I'm gonna go for today. There's the horns of Hathor and Isis, also the apis bull. And there's the apis bull's head right there. I guess you gotta have a good imagination. And then the ridge line is his backbone, and it's in a crescent moon shape, that mountain. So the story is the apis bull has a crescent moon on its right flank, and so that ridge line does. And then this end up here at the sacred mountain, way up higher than this, is where the fork is, and so that's also the fork of the wasp scepter and the sacrum and lower lumbar that makes the jet pillar of the bull. I'll edit some of those clips in here. And then this hill right here is the wasp scepter head, and it's shaped like an alien head. It's real long. It goes that way in the direction of the summer solstice sunrise, 60 degrees. I'll put a cut in that, but that's the head right there coming into this valley. So you can't make it out from here, but maybe if you're up on top you could see that, but you know, I thought maybe it was up at the South Peak where I was at that one time, you'd be able to see this stuff better, but yeah, I'm not so sure. I guess you'd have to, but and then behind, let me see if I can get this right. Behind that peak there, that little sliver right there is the set animal head. You can't see the two canyon ears. He's got two ears back there behind it that are squared off at the ends. Those are two canyons, Musk Hog Canyon, and there's one more canyon there. I don't have the name of that. But those are the square heads. That's the set animal right there. And the nose comes down right to that canyon, base of that canyon right there. So it's not a real animal. It's a set animal. Nobody's gonna be able to figure it out, but it's that shape right there. And there's an outcropping there that is the eyeball. I see it from Google Earth anyways. I don't know if I can point to it. Right in there's an outcropping that I think is the eyeball. But that's that yellow there is the set animal. And that outcropping, you can see it, is the eyeball right there. Yeah, hold it steady. You can see that in Google Earth. Looks whiter. That's the eyeball. And then it's got a long beak like Snuffleupagus. Or an aardvark, kind of. So, Set is known to have this weird head, and he has a tail with a fork on the end, and that's again at the other end of this ridge line, this crescent-shaped ridge line, up at the sacred peak. Not this one here, but up higher. It's up beyond this ridge line here. You can get a good view of the South Peak. Looks like the Sun Pyramid of Teotihuacan. Same size too. Looks just like it. pretty wild. Should be a, one of the things when they picked a live bull in Egypt, and it would have a triangle or a diamond shape, white diamond shape on its forehead, and a crescent moon on its right flank, they would make it, it would be the living God there. They would take it to the temple and live its life out there, and it wouldn't die of old age, they would kill it. And so that they weren't killing it, they were giving it the transition onto the next life. So he didn't die of just of old age, he was transitioned to the to God, or to the place after this where the gods are. So it's kind of hard to believe that somebody came out here thousands of years ago and saw this place. But you know, the Amun Ra, Amun is the energy that's up here, and that's a little addicting. Kind of gets you, it's like a man possessed here. This Ra here, this outcropping, has an energy to it as well. But you go up top where the serpent comes down the hill, Quetzalcoatl comes down the hill. At the base of that hill, there's that rhyolite that's got gold and silica in it. That's energetic, and you can feel it. It gets in your head. You can find it down in the float down at Labarge Canyon and the intersection of the washout from that hill there, along Whiskey Creek or Whiskey Springs, over about 200 yards to the east. And to set yourself right down there in the intersection of the river, Labarge Canyon and that outfall and the white rock right there are energetic. You'll get a buzz in your head just sitting there on the ground. So if somebody running across that, they're going to think something's special about this place. So I believe that's the Amun, and they joined it with Amun Ra here, the sun god. And so these real old gods from the ancient times are from here that I can see. So there's the Apis bull, he's really old. That's really old stuff. Osiris, Ptah used to be, Apis bull used to be the embodiment of Ptah, and he was the beginning, one of the beginning creators. So it changes through time. But then Osiris in the New Kingdom time around Akhenaten had Sup, the queen pharaoh. That time is when Osiris really, the story of Osiris and Isis was popular, and so he became this. So now, where's Anubis? Anubis is also an old god. It starts out he's the son of Ra. Then he became let's see, was it Osiris, or he was Set's and Nephthys' child, Anubis was. And then the story is Osiris had an affair with Nephthys, but they're all brothers and sisters, but she had Anubis, which was Osiris's child. And that's why Set killed Osiris and tore him in pieces. And then Isis and Anubis resurrected Osiris. And then she had Horus. And Horus took revenge on Set and battled him for 80 years and defeated him. And so Horus is, and Isis have been one of the main ones, gods for up until the Christianity. And then some say the stories in the Bible come off of those two right there, the Horus and Osiris resurrection and all that stuff. So some say that. Okay, there's Horus up there in that peak there. Oh. There's the hawk head right there. Looks like it's got the sun directly on it, but right time of the day, man, it looks like a hawk head. I was pointing back at the other area. That's it right there, right across from Ra. You see the set animal really good right there, the set animal head. They don't know what that animal is, but it's a long, looks like a snuffleupagus with a, here's the eyeball right there. And you look on the depictions of the, and here's the ears, square topped ears of those canyons right there. It's just bizarre. That somebody would notice that and make an animal out of that. But it sure fits. It's, and his symbol, set symbol, is the wasp scepter, and there's the wasp scepter head that nobody knows what kind of an animal that is too. Some kind of morphed animal. So the wasp scepter is a long staff that has a hook on the bottom, and we'll see if my video is doing all kinds of weird things on Google Earth here. It's looking at the set's head there and the ears. Drawn back here, down here at the end. Now the Apis bull is connected to the Jed pillar too. That's supposedly his serapum, the tailbone, and the lower lumbar. And if you look at the Jed examples of the pelvic bone, and you got the tailbone in between there, it looks like this. That's the Jed pillar, some people believe, is part of the animal here, and that's where the energy comes from. And here is the energetic geological formation is right in that, right in there. That's the face and Quetzalcoatl too. So a lot going on right there in this spot right there, the sacred mountain. The Ankh forms up here. The serpent comes down the mountain in the shadow before the Ankh appears, and it heads into the earth right there. So Quetzalcoatl is joining the earth to the, going into the underground. Or Ra is down here, and he battles the serpent every night. And if it's sunny out, the Ankh appears. If it's cloudy, he doesn't. So that's pretty cool. So the story right there. Several things going on. Now, where is Anubis? I don't know. Maybe he's not an early, very old god. So this Apis bull is, the story is he is Osiris, or the embodiment of Osiris. Osiris incarnate. But he's the embodiment of Osiris. Before Osiris was famous, it was Ptah, who was the creator god that the Apis bull he represented. So it's hard to believe, and there's a lot going on at that. Those are two Egyptian deities in the Arizona desert, on the east side of the Superstition Mountains. Just hard to believe, but it's here. There's an energetic thing going on out here that you can feel it, and that's Amun. Of course, I'm talking about that in the other video.